Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make a minion. Now this is my very first video tutorial, so please bear with me if the quality isn't that good or it's a little shaky. Now there are other video tutorials on YouTube on how to make these, but ours is just a slightly different variation. So to start off with, you will need some yellow Kinder Egg capsules. We use the bright yellow ones, but equally the darker yellow ones work just as well. And you'll need some bottle tops. Okay, any bottle tops, so long as the capsule sits in it okay. We have an Evian water, Schweppes lemonade, a Diet Coke. We have Shop's own brand lemonade bottles. Pepsi works just as well, so it doesn't matter, just so long as your capsule sits in, that's fine. The different heights of the bottle tops give different heights to your minions too, so that's a nice variation. You will also need googly eyes. I use the 8mm for the two-eyed minions, and we have a 10mm eye for the one-eyed minions. You'll need a black permanent marker. You'll need yellow pipe cleaners. These are the 5mm variety. You'll need felt. We have grey felt, black felt and blue felt. You will also need hot melt mini glue sticks, a glue gun. I use my blunt scissors for cutting the pipe cleaners, and I use my sharp scissors for cutting the felt. Now as you can see here, I've already got some templates pre-cut, so these can hopefully speed up some time on the video, but I'll give you the measurements as we go along. So to start off with, you will need your yellow Kinder Egg capsule and one of your bottle tops. Now my templates I made as I was just going along. There's no set measurements to any of them. This one is just slightly over 11 centimetres. This is going to be the band to go around the top of his head for his goggles. So that's just over 11 centimetres in length, and it's just over about 5mm in width. It doesn't have to be exact because you can trim them. So we're going to first glue along the band. My glue gun's been on a while, so it might take a bit of work to get it going. So you place the capsule on top in the middle, and then you just very carefully wrap the band around, and it should overlap slightly. And then just make sure it's straight. Now the next thing we do is we put the arms in. So here's one I made earlier. Now the pipe cleaners are approximately 5 centimetres long. It doesn't have to be exact again, as you're going to be poking these in to the body anyway. And then you need some felt to make the glove. Now this is just under 1.5 centimetres by just over 2. Again, this doesn't have to be exact because you're going to be trimming these anyway. So take the glue gun and just glue the very end. And then you place it halfway to the middle of the glove, and then you just fold it over and gently squeeze. You will get some excess glue coming out of the edges. That's fine because you're going to trim these off. So just let that cool down for a bit. See, this one I did earlier is already trimmed. So what you do is you open up your capsule, and then we place these arms into the sides. So now let's just cool down ever so slightly. I'm going to trim off the arm. There we go. And that just neatens it up to give it a better finish. So we place the arm into the capsules. Now this is the fiddly bit. You need to make sure they're placed in the sides where you want them to go, and they're both at the same height, and then just snap it shut. That one's slightly shorter, so I'll just pull that out slightly. There we go. Now the next bit is to glue him onto his base. So you glue around the edge. Now this bit you need to do quite quickly because otherwise the glue will set. Now pop your minion onto the base there and just glue him in so he's ever so slightly leaning backwards. Like that. Now the next stage is to make the dungarees. So the measurements for these are just on 11 centimetres by about 2.5 centimetres. So here's one I cut out earlier. Now to do the arms for the dungarees, you fold the felt into the middle, so it's almost like a wardrobe fold, or if you make cards it's like a gate fold. Okay, so make sure that's in the middle, and then just very carefully holding it, take your scissors and just snip about 5mm down into the fabric. Don't go all the way to the edge, just leave about 1 centimetre from the edge and then just cut out a very small piece just under that, so it's like a very thin rectangle, and then take this bit away. This is just one of the trickier parts, so take your time for this bit. And just make sure it's neat. And then you do exactly the same on the other side. So about 5mm down. If you cut too near to the top of the dungarees become thin, and as you pull them over the arms they can break. So make sure you give yourself a good thickness there. And then again just cut ever so slightly just alongside. And then take out the bit you don't need. And there you have your dungarees. So to stick these on, lay your minion down. Oh, you will get threads of glue as you go along, but once these are cold you can just snap them off. Okay, so glue the front of your dungarees in the middle. You don't need to put too much glue on because it will set by the time you manage to stick everything, so do it bit by bit. So stick on the front, and then you can dress your minion, pull his arms down. And then glue around the back. You don't need to cover it all in glue, just the edge and the bottom. And then you fold that over. And then you do the same with this side. And then you fold that over so that it joins the back. Okay, now you just need to give your elbows a little bend for your minion. And then we're ready to put on the feet. Now this is my template for the feet. It's approximately 3 centimetres wide, maybe 3.5 at the widest point. by about 3 centimetres again, so almost 3 centimetres square. It doesn't have to be exact. All I did for mine was I just drew around a shape on some cardboard, and then I just cut it out, and then I just fine-tuned it to the size that I wanted. So to stick the feet on, just a small amount of glue, and then you just sit the minion on top, and then you need to do the eyes. So there's one eye there on top of some grey felt. Now to make this one, all I did was I had a scrap of felt, glue the eye on. It's important not to hold the end of the glue gun onto the back of the eye, as it will melt the plastic, so you need to do it very quickly. Okay, and then trim around the eye and you'll end up with something like that. So we're going to stick this one on. Onto the band. Okay, now to make the two-eyed minions, that's my template for the two-eyed minions. All I did was I put the eyes onto some paper, and then I just drew around the paper. I don't know if you can see it on the white background, but that was all I did to make the template for those. And then you just cut it out as you have done the grey felt. Now the last thing to do is to give him his smile. Now all the minions are unique, so it doesn't really matter how you do his smile. I'm going to give him one that looks like that today. And then the hair. Now you can either have a hair that looks like that. He can have hair that looks like that one. He can be bold. These ones have their hats to keep them warm. Or he can have the dots like that. Okay, so today I'm going to leave this one bold. And there's your minion. Now we first started selling these back in July at a charity event to raise money for charity. It's for Together for Short Lives, and they went down really well. So we've just continued making them for charity ever since. So as I said, these ones you can make good luck minions. He's got a little 4-leaf clover there. He got given as a present to someone, and then we've just started making the costume minions as well. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to leave any comments, then please do so.